What's up, Hubel? How you doing,
Yes.
buddy? Yes,
Yes. I'm on the
doing
East
it.
Coast. I'm on the East Coast, man. I gotta keep it real, out here, Paul.
Yeah,
I should plug my new movie too.
squirrels.
This is called Squirrels.
It could happen. Is that a real movie?
I don't believe so. I bought this from Rob Schraub, who's a very
Okay.
funny
Yeah.
writer on Rick and Morty, and he sells these on his website. And I don't even know the story. I just like the shirt.
Oh, dude, Rob Schraub and I know that you met your wife through
Yes, that's
Rob
right.
Schraub.
He introduced me to my wife.
I've yet to meet her, but I hear she's lovely.
My wife.
My wife. And Rob and I were working on this idea at Comedy Central for a while, and it was going to be like a weekly comedy creep show. So like that movie Creep Show, and it was like it
Yeah.
was such a great idea. And
What happened? Comedy Central fell apart.
well, this is like even before they were like, ah, it's too weird. But I remember the one that we had that was so funny, and I'm sure we could talk about because it's been years now, was about a ghost shark. So it was like a hotel that had like a mounted shark on the wall. Like, wow, it's a big shark. It's like, yeah. But at night that shark came to life and would like swim through the hotel and eat people.
I love it. I love it. Um,
Uh,
yeah, man. But I'm here on the East Coast, Paul, because we're both in the entertainment business. But I've noticed a thing with you that I
yeah,
that I kind of got to call you out on. When you're
sure, yeah.
shooting a TV show,
Oh
I
man,
noticed that you like to stay in Los Angeles and shoot on like a stage or a set where it's all
yeah.
safe. I like to get out and meet the people, the real people of America. So I'm shooting in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is a
Wow.
beautiful. I mean, you've seen the postcards and all the commercials. I mean, everybody, you gotta get to Poughkeepsie, everybody.
This might be a dated reference, but I'll say it anyway. Most people don't know this. People thought that Facts of Life was just like a multicam comedy shot on a stage, but it was actually shot in Poughkeepsie. That show took place in Poughkeepsie. It was shot in
Oh
Poughkeepsie,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you could tell, like the way that the set was designed was very Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to all the lovely people at the Courtyard by Marriott um, here in Poughkeepsie. There's a lot of construction going on. Ignore it, guys. Ignore the noise. There's a lot of like the guy working outside my window every day
Yeah.
has a big van with a big Trump flag on the van. I mean, colorful characters, and when Trump's re-inaugurated in August, you
Oh,
know, I'll
well,
look
hold
like
on.
an idiot.
First of all, that's not going to happen.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, we've postponed. I shouldn't say we. I've gotten word that it's postponed.
They're postponing the re-inauguration?
Well, I mean, you've been subscribing to Trump's blogs, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's kind
yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he has a, what does he have, a Medium account now or whatever?
Uh,
Sending out newsletters. He did that for like 4 weeks. It was like, I don't have that.
I know. I know. We shouldn't even talk about it. People get so upset when we
All
talk
right,
about
yeah.
politics. That's all right. Let's have a
Um,
great. Hey,
we'll
3 day
have a great
weekend, Paul.
show.
3 day weekend this
Why?
weekend.
Why? What's
Brand new
happening?
Juneteenth just got
Oh,
voted today as a federal holiday, which will be tomorrow. So all
oh
federal
my
workers,
gosh.
and I don't know what if you're not a federal worker, I don't know if you get it off. This is
I
breaking
didn't
news.
realize that it was like in because I saw they signed it today. I didn't realize it was like in effect, like
Yeah,
immediately in effect. That's
yeah.
amazing.
Now, who knows, like what companies will do, but it would be cool if people were just like, I'm not going to work. It's a holiday.
I mean, it's there's actually there's so many like I mean, Juneteenth, I will be very honest, and I will say in the last year and a half, I have learned a lot more. I've
Sure,
tried
of
to like learn a
course.
lot
Yeah,
more.
I think like 2 years ago, maybe I was like, what is it? Oh, okay. And like, of course, I think certainly a lot of white people were.
Yeah, and it's great. And if you don't know what Juneteenth is, I mean, not that this is the primer for it, but there's a great episode of Atlanta about it. That's really a lot of fun. And there's I'm trying to remember the podcast that I love so much. It did like a full they had a full on air celebration of Juneteenth. But so now people are getting an extra day this weekend. This is perfect. I
Yeah.
love this.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I will tell you this much. I was in New York this past weekend. I was staying at the Hilton in
Ooh.
Roslyn,
Ooh.
And when I checked in, I was wearing a mask, and the person behind the
Mhm.
desk said to me, "Oh, you're here for 3 days. You don't have to wear a mask." And I've been thinking about that for so long. I was like, I don't understand how that translates to not wearing a mask in the hotel. Like, I was like, wait, but I did just get off an airplane, like, and I'm here.
I
Like,
know it's so like now that like most people hopefully are vaccinated, you know, it is weird to be in places that are still, especially a lot of companies are still just sort of like performing it a little bit, you know, like
yes,
where I am, you're supposed to wear a mask in the hallways, but not in the gym. Like what that wouldn't make sense for at all.
Eh, the thing that gets me is the honor system of it all. Like, I was in a
Yeah.
Starbucks in New York, and there's a big sign that says, "If you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask." So then I was wearing my mask in there, and then I felt like, am I making a statement? Like, not me. I'm not going to
Right.
get vaccinated. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Uh-oh, who's behind you?
babe. I have a ghost behind me, baby
Oh my
ghost.
gosh, that was like the ghost from Three Men and a Little Baby or whatever. What was that movie
He
where
had,
there was a ghost?
yeah, 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah.
By the way, he did a great job there. He really just disappeared out of frame. That is Twanch. You got to see
Twatch.
a little picture of Twanch there. If you've never watched a show before, this is Thursdays with Rob and Paul. It's kind of like a talk show. We have great people on tonight. We have two amazing people. We have Nick Thune coming up a little bit later in the show, and up first tonight we have Rod Benson, who is an amazing visual artist, former basketball player, but all around cool dude. So he'll be coming up, and we got a lot of fun stuff. But you know,
I gotta say too, those guys are like male models. The postcard
yeah,
that Molly made this week, I was like, oh geez, I mean, you see those two handsome guys, and then it cuts to me and you, and we, you know, we look like
it was good that we were
can't,
small. We
yeah,
needed to be
can't
small.
quite
Yeah.
see them that way, but good try. Uh,
Oh, Twanch is popping up again,
there he
baby.
is. I see Twanch,
Ghost, Ghost Twanch in the
the
background.
ghost of Twanch.
I will say this, look, I know that Twitch is getting into a lot of hot water for hot tub streams. My child
Oh,
seems to
I
be
don't know
naked.
about that. What
Okay,
is
my
the
child seems to be naked. He is naked.
what are the what is the controversy with hot tub streams?
I don't know what the contra. I think that they don't want people to be in a hot tub and like
Oh,
streaming from a hot tub. Although now that makes me all I want to do is stream from a hot tub. I think that I think that Twitch is actually very cognizant of not pushing, like, it's loose, but let's not push it over the edge. And I feel like the hot
yeah,
tub
yeah, yeah.
streams got there, but people did notice that I was trying to block a little bit of Twanch's
We'll edit it out. We'll
yeah,
edit it
yeah.
out later.
Look, I think that both you and I know that this is a very touchy weekend, especially for
Twanch. I
wives.
see Twanch.
Twanch, a touchy weekend for wives, because obviously there's going to be a lot of attention
Oh
on
God.
us because you and
And
I,
they don't like it. They don't
we
like
are
it.
dads, and this is the
Yeah.
day. This is the day. I mean, this is
Oh,
where we get our just deserve. Father's Day.
this is the real Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
This is
yes.
the real one. And I've heard so many arguments about this, like, oh, Father's Day, oh, you know, oh, great. You know, glad that you want to be a dad for one day out of the year, or I've even heard people say, you know, like, you know, some women have argued, like, well, you know, do you know how hard it is to carry a baby? Like, I carried a baby, and I say, you know what? I carried my baby first, you know? And Paul, I've
Mm-hmm.
been very clear about this. I carried her in my balls
Yeah.
for a long, and that's not comfortable, you know? You're running around, you're jogging, you're at the gym, and you can feel the babies in there, and it's not always comfortable or easy. So, shout out to the dads who are also doing the work.
Well, look, Rob, let's
I
be
like how you're trying to block any.
just block the nudity on.
We're all gonna get in trouble. We're all gonna get in trouble for this.
Well, look, Rob, I think you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, thank you.
Father's Day is sorry, I think you hit the nail right on the head. That Mother's Day, or how did you say it? Sorry, it was
Father's
that
Day is the real Mother's Day.
Father's Day is the real Mother's Day, and we talked about, yes, they can carry children, and that's a beautiful and amazing thing. But here's the thing, right? If you don't,
Twanch has figured out that he's blurry in the background.
He knows it. He knows, and he's moving around. Here's what I'll say about all of that. Like, that is one of the most beautiful things, and I will not take anything away from anyone. But I will say this: if you work at a place and you have money, you have to deposit that money in the bank to have a profit. We're basically, if we don't bring that money to the bank, there's no profit. So that's really what the job of a father is. I mean, like, we are doing the hardest work. That was the long way around.
I'm not. Oh, now I see some butt. I see some kid butt.
Get out of here, Twanch. Twanch, out. Twanch, get out of here.
There's going to be a knock at your door, and the FCC is going to be like with AR-15s, like, get out, everybody, get out.
He is. Twanch really has gotten a taste for showbiz now. He really he likes to get in the mix. He's got a full Ace Ventura routine.
Does he know? Because I haven't seen you physically in so long. Do your kids know what you do for a job? Like, I don't think my daughter gets really what I do.
Well, your daughter, as a matter of fact, gets what I do, because your daughter stumbled upon a cartoon that I am a voice on, and was talking to Holly about it, and was telling her,
what show is it?
She just stumbled on it yesterday, Big City Greens, and she was telling your wife that I was a very mean man. And I am. I'm a very mean man. So I felt very bad that I feel like I feel like I'm gonna have to make some inroads with your daughter next time I see her, because she's gonna see me as this really this abusive person.
Yeah. Well, the whole idea of like voiceover stuff is sort of mind blowing to. I mean, she's 4, so it's like that. It just destroys. Like I had a meeting with Adina Menzel. No big deal, guys.
Whoa, Rob!
And
wow.
But she's the voice of. Look at this person. Look at this person.
You really are taking over here, Twanch. You want to do your Ace Ventura impression, Twanch?
Oh yeah, yeah. Here we go.
Don't. Okay, he won't do it. He wants to be on camera, but he won't do it.
What can you do his Ace Ventura impression?
Yeah, he runs around the house. And he points at. Get out of here, Twanch. He is covering himself, which
I like that you're calling him a joke name that we came up with, and he's probably like, "What? Why are you calling me that?"
I call him my weirdest name. But he'll run around the house and point at different doors and be like, "Don't go in there. Don't go in there." And so
that's not even what Jim Carrey says. He's like,
do
not go in there.
He does a version of it. He's trying. And he also recreates the opening. So he'll ask for a box to carry, like an old Amazon box, and he'll run around the house recreating it. Twanch, get out of here. Okay. It's really, the show's gone off the rails. All right. Okay.
This is how I know June is not well, Paul. Like, I know that you keep saying that your wife, he can't hear me, right? Because you're on
he can't hear her. He can't. Yeah.
You keep saying that your wife is alive, but if she were alive, she would be intervening right now.
No, June is definitely in the house. She is. She's very involved right now in capturing Twanch. Oh, here she comes. Oh, there she is now. She's out there. Yep. Everybody's been asking for June. Everyone. There's the whole family's in here now. Here's the other one. Your
whole family is naked. Your whole family is naked.
Guys, you're on. All right, there it is.
Paul, legally, I can't be on this show. I can't be on a show, and I can see him in the mirror. Now he's in the mirror.
That was crazy. Everyone came in. All right, I'm gonna shut the door, and the dog just left. Okay, get out of here.
Is the dog showing his wiener also?
The dog is naked too.
Oh gosh.
Okay, they're ready to go. They are.
So they are wound up.
Yeah, this is the end of the day. They've been going to camp, which has been really like making them so exhausted that when they come home,
Yeah.
they go like insane.
And are you sending your kids to that fireworks camp? What I can't remember the name of the place, but I thought you were telling me about a fireworks camp where it's just kids
Yeah,
lighting up fireworks all the time?
it's an artillery camp.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's fireworks are part of it, but it's more about like shells,
Rocket
loading shells.
launchers
Yeah,
and
rocket
yeah.
launchers and bullets and
Wow,
stuff like that.
wow, wow.
Yeah, it's
And
fun. It's a lot of fun.
for like maybe be in the military one day or just for fun, just to explode stuff.
Oh, I mean, a lot of it is just for preparing.
Okay.
Because
For
we are going to have
for
to
what
we're gonna have to
for
step up eventually. I mean, we've all seen what's been going on in this country. We're gonna have to start to step up.
we got I love just casually mentioning that. We got to just step up.
I mean, we're not fooling anybody.
I mean, it's a call to arms.
Rob, how do you? I mean, look, we are relatively new dads, like, and I know that this is a time of year where people get stressed out, like they don't know, what to get or what to do,
Oh yeah, the
for
whole
their
last minute
parents or
Father's Day
yeah.
thing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. By the way, if you're watching this and you haven't mailed your dad a card, Father's Day is Sunday, and if you mail it tomorrow, it might get there.
You got to go to FedEx at this point. Like,
You think so?
do
Maybe,
do
yeah,
due
yeah.
diligence. I mean, depending on where where they live, but I think you got to send something at this point. If you haven't thought this far ahead,
You could probably Amazon something, right? Not
definitely.
to
You can
plug that company.
yeah. I mean, I like to plug it because Bezos seems like a cool dude.
Bezos. I love how you mispronounce his name like Jesus. Bezos.
Bezos is cool.
But last minute Father's Day gifts are always helpful to me, and because I've been there, man. I've forgotten that holiday a lot, and
it's tough.
So I'm glad that we put we did a little bit of research, and I think we came up with a pretty good shopping list of these gifts that you can still get. You still have time to order these gifts.
And it's from our website, which, Rob and I, since we've been on Twitch, we've become, as people have been saying, like, we're influencers. So we have our own merch and everything like this. And we're happy to provide you with some of these great things that will, I don't know, really, I think, show you some ways to help your, make the person in your life feel a bit special. So this is for moms, this is for kids, this is for everybody here. What's the first thing you can give? Well, like, obviously every parent, they need something like a romantic getaway, right?
Yeah, it's nice to. I always feel like my wife always says, what do you want on Father's Day? And I always say, I want to be with you. I want to go away. I want to have a very sexy, romantic hotel experience.
Yes.
Ironically, Father's Day, I don't want to be around my child. I want to go away
That's
with
my
my
day
wife.
off.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I want to go to a place that has a life size, or I should say a comically large champagne glass bathtub that I get in with my significant other, and we laugh our cares away while the children are not there. Yeah.
And if you go to our website right now, you can still order this package, and you can we'll come and pick you up in a cargo van, bring you and whoever you want, a friend, a lover, and you can relax with all these candles and champagne.
And we'll fill the tub with lukewarm water. We
should be clear about that. Lukewarm. It's not going to be hot.
Yeah, we call it tinkle. That's the temperature that people want to know. Like, what do you mean by lukewarm? We say tinkle.
It's so easy to explain it that way because then everyone knows what that is. You're not going to get burned. It's not going to be cold either. So
yeah. So that's nice, and that's that's our first package. Like you said, unmarked van comes to your house, and we'll throw you in a tub with whoever you please. Yeah. This is something that I'm proud to offer this year.
It's a great idea. This is a great idea.
A lot of people, they have complicated relationships with their parents, and I'm offering a service. This is my dad here in the blue jacket, where you can take a picture with my dad. So maybe if you want to post something online and you have a relationship that makes it a little bit hard to post a picture with your dad, for $55, and we're going to knock it down to $50 for Father's Day. You can take a picture with my dad and post it, and we'll make sure that we give you his username so people can track it, so it doesn't feel like you're just posting, somebody who's not verified or something like that. So that's
So
a
for $55, go on our website right now. We'll
50
fly you
for Father's Day.
50 for Father's Day. We'll fly you in,
Mhm.
and so you can have a picture with Paul's dad. And Paul, is your dad? Just so people know, is that East Coast, West Coast?
My dad is East Coast, but
Okay, so we'll
he's
still
able
fly
to
him. We'll
stay up
fly him to the
late.
East Coast. Okay, great.
Yeah, but he's able to stay up late. If you live on the East Coast, it will be a little bit cheaper for you, the whole package.
Yeah.
West Coast a little bit more expensive, but we've been bringing in people. I've been doing this all week. We brought a person in from Austria this week, and that
Oh,
was
nice.
great. And my dad loved it. And again, you're not having any long interaction with my dad. It is just simply a photo taken by his wife.
Yeah.
And
And someone had a
in and out.
question in the chat. Do we take East Coast dollars? Of course, we take West Coast or East
Yeah,
Coast money. It doesn't matter to us. And Paul, I'm just
yeah,
starting to look a little bit closer at the picture. I do
yeah.
notice that in this particular photo,
Mhm.
you have there's a lot going on with you right here. It looks like maybe you were just I can't tell if that's poison oak or
You know what? There was a time in my life where I was dealing with a lot of lesions. I had seen the
yeah.
movie.
Oh gosh.
I'd seen the movie Philadelphia, and and there was something
No, no,
about it
no,
where
no, 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 no. I thought you were gonna say like cabin fever or something like that.
no, look, Rob, that looked to me. I was no, this actually no. All joking aside, this picture was taken after I was caught in a well. And
Yeah,
a lot of
you
people
were
who don't
down
know
there
my
for a
full
while.
backstory, yeah, that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I was caught in a well for 4 months. And that was rough. But my
Yeah,
dad did charge me only $25 for that picture, so that was
that
actually
was a
pretty
good
good.
deal. That was good. So
Yeah.
what are some other last minute gift ideas?
Well, this is a great one that
Oh,
you were
this
able
is
to manage.
I didn't know what to get you last year. I was freaking out because I like to acknowledge some of the dads in my peer group and my friend group.
Hmm.
I love to send Father's Day gifts to other dads, and so I got you this last year. And how did you like it? This was full body massage by expert
Weight guru Tony Little,
weight
right?
and exercise guru Tony Little, and this was expensive, Paul. I will tell you now because it's a year later, but this was like
Yeah.
$1,000, and
Wow.
East
Thank you,
Coast,
Rob.
East Coast dollars, East Coast
Yeah,
dollars.
East Coast. He worked a lot on my glutes, to a
Yeah,
point that made me feel uncomfortable. But at a certain point, after the 45-minute mark, I got so comfortable that I felt like I know that they kind of talk about this idea that you grow a little bit. Oh,
yeah.
they're
Oh,
they're at least clothed now.
okay, good.
Yeah, so Tony was so great to kind of spend that time on my glutes and my hammies.
And
And
does
I would
everything
say,
is
yeah.
is his salon? Is everything always on a picnic table? Is that I wasn't sure how it worked.
Well, Tony asked me to just go with it because he's not a masseuse, and that's part of the fun of it. Is he doesn't know how to do it
Hmm,
professionally. He is an amateur, but what he likes to do is celebrate dads, and so this is kind of part of his ragtag operation. He's not going to buy a table just for a couple days out of the year that he gives massages to
right,
dads.
right. I
So
see. I
yeah,
see.
yeah, that's a great one.
Right.
We got this is
Oh,
yeah, this is something I was really interested in. Like, look, we all love our dads, or we all have a fond memory of them. But sometimes we feel like we can make them better. And the face that you're looking at now isn't always the case. My family got me plastic surgery last year. This is what this is a little bit closer to what I was looking like. This is kind of mid process, but this
so
is
the
yeah.
surgery that they got you, that was to look more like your dad. Is that what this is?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Yes. So we could, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like the idea being like, why not make it really clear? Like, a lot of people say, who do you look like? Or, especially when you have kids, it's like, oh, it looks like you, or it looks like your wife, or, it looks like, so we really want to do plastic surgery so you look more like
more
your
like
actual, yeah,
more like your dad. Now, I,
person.
I have noticed now looking at you now with
Mhm.
your very expensive lighting setup and
Yeah.
these soft background and all that,
Yeah.
the chin implant that you once had seems like it might have fallen off. Did that not take, or what was
Well,
there?
yeah, it was,
Got
it,
infected or
you know what it was? It was a mistake. It was a misstep on every level.
oh gosh.
Yeah, we did remove it. It was for a long time, but again, you live, you learn, you love, and it's the thought, not the actual gift. Think about it as
Mhm.
intent versus impact. The intent was lovely to get me plastic surgery, look like my dad. The impact was really detrimental to me in numerous ways.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, well, you look great now.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
yeah,
It took a
this.
lot of money to get back to where to back to one.
But
Yeah.
I will say, we're kind of running past this.
Mhm.
It's still a good gift. Paul's did
Great
not
gift.
work out, but if you
Right.
are thinking about getting plastic surgery to look more like your father, hit us up. We can hook you up on the website.
I mean, this is one of our first times we did. I mean, again, we are doing the plastic surgery. And I think that's why, like, when we work together on it, I think we do a better job. This is just you and you're kind of experimenting, and yeah. So that was,
I'm not licensed. I wasn't gonna, I'll tell you
yeah,
now, but I'm not a licensed surgeon. Obviously, this
yeah,
is.
and I appreciate that honesty. This one is
Oh,
you do a really cool thing. This is
well,
fun. This is actually my favorite one.
yeah, it's always fun, I think, to hunt humans for sport.
Yes,
I think that
the
we
most
all
dangerous
love
game.
the most dangerous game. Is a sort of been the subject of a few different movies and stuff like that, where you rich people pay a lot of money to go out and actually hunt humans. But
Mhm,
Paul and I found a way to do this safely, safe safe for us.
mhm.
And if you are interested in hunting humans for sport for Father's Day, go on our website, and there's a great package there. And yeah, we had a great time. Um, I,
And Rob,
I just
I want to just get out in front of this and say, a lot of people are nervous when we say, "Oh, you can hunt humans for sport." Like, where are you getting these humans? And I want you to know they are all humanely,
mm,
uh, received. And truthfully, these are people who want to die, and we're going to help facilitate that. These are not people that we rounded up because they thought they were going to some sort of
yeah,
sexy
these are people
vacation
that
in a van or
signed
something
it.
like
No, they
that.
signed a
Yeah,
waiver that said they were ready to die, and it's people from all walks of life. It's and who various circumstances, but people that wanted to die. Um, and so we're happy to provide that service for them. Go on the website again, select a package. Hunting humans is a great Father's Day gift.
and just walk people through the idea. One person, it's how much versus two people, and it goes up obviously, but
How many? It also
the
depends on.
package, yeah,
Yeah, it also depends on if we're going to do any of the cleaning of the kill. Like if we're
right,
going to clean
yeah,
them,
that's
cut the heads off, scoop the guts out, do any mounting, any
skin
taxidermy, stuff
suits,
like that. Yeah,
yeah.
it depends on what you want to have done. So there are some variations, but basically it's around like if you want to bag one human, it's $100. If you want to take two humans, it's $200.
Mhm.
It's $100 a human.
100 bucks a head. And if you do three, we'll give you one for 275. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
the one thing that I do love about this. People say I only hunt artisanal humans, and I appreciate that. And that's something you can talk about it. We have vegans, we have people who are on liquid diets, we have people. You can kind of, if you give us enough notice, we can get somebody
Hmm.
that you want in there. So that's good.
Yeah.
This is a little bit. Talk to me about this, because this is a
Well,
little bit something. Yeah,
appliances, I always feel like appliances are sort of, people think that are sort of sexist when it comes to appliances. A lot of
yeah,
people think like, oh, well, I think my wife will love a new oven or a new stove. And they
yeah,
don't realize that, a dad also likes to cook. And it's sort of stereotypical that a dad would be
yeah,
cooking outside at the barbecue. Dads like to cook over, inside over a
yeah.
gas grill also, or a stove or an oven. So if you go online, we can get you one of these new stoves that we have. And let me see that. Let me see that picture again, Paul,
Yeah,
because
absolutely. Hold on one second. I'm just
the
yeah, here it is. So
it's interesting to notice the way you're handling the merchandise, because this stuff, I will say, Paul, is very, very expensive. So
mhm.
normally I would encourage you to not pick up a oven and range and with one
Well,
hand like that.
here's the thing. This is also in a time where I was again into some fun stuff with some cool Hollywood people out here in the gym circuit,
Oh, you're
and
talking about
we were.
steroids. Okay, you're talking about steroids. Are you not going to say that you were taking steroids during the time of this picture? Because I can say it if you want me to. all right, clearly Paul was addicted to steroids during this photo shoot. Otherwise,
We
he
had a lot
wouldn't.
of fun. We had a lot of fun.
There wouldn't be a way. It's not humanly possible to pick up a stove in a range with one arm.
Says
I
you,
don't think.
pussy.
What?
Says you, pussy.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
I'm not going to take the bait on that.
Okay. Great.
Because I
You
know
know,
it's going to escalate to pussy says what, and then I say what, and then you
yeah.
say,
Of course. Yeah. You said what? And so, I mean, this is something good. You know, people always are looking for clothing, right? And this is an important thing. Dads, you know, I think the one thing that a lot of people know about
yeah.
dads is that dads have balls, and balls
Yes.
need containers. And what better container than underwear containers,
Yeah.
right?
I
Like,
just
yeah.
think that a lot of people forget that new underwear is a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes forget to buy myself new underwear. So I
Yeah.
always appreciate it if my wife will go out and get me some new boxers or Paul, I think we might have a photo of
Oh
you
yeah, yeah. We got a couple. Yeah, I'll show you. I got.
modeling the
we have.
briefs.
Yeah, we have boxers and we have briefs, and you
We
can
have
check it
both
out.
kinds of underwear, boxers
Yeah,
and briefs.
and those are always, and they're great to kind of
Yeah,
you know,
go
mix and
on the
match.
website, mix and match. I have a hard time choosing which I like more. Do I like the feel of briefs more, you know,
Yeah,
against my body? Do I like to be contained like that, or do I like to sort of have it a little bit looser like this?
yeah.
And
We call it a buffet package. You can get boxers and briefs in there together, and then you can also get g-string or like edible underwear in too. So we give you like I call it the little buffet, underwear buffet. You don't know what you're going to get in there.
yeah, and it's also fun just to work out. This is obviously in my home gym. I had a photo shoot done in my
Yeah.
home gym, but it's helpful and fun to work out just in your underwear too. Can we go back to the picture of you real quick, Paul?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. I was trying to get away from it, but yeah, I'll come back to it. This is a while ago, you know, obviously when we first came up with it, you know, things have changed with my body, but
Paul,
besides that, you know,
There's no reason to
yeah.
be ashamed
Oh
of your
no, I
body. You
mean,
know,
I'm kind of ashamed. I'm ashamed at where I am now, honestly. I look back
men's
at this and
bodies are beautiful, Paul, in all shapes and sizes. And you know, obviously, I did because I do remember this photo shoot because I remember you were living in that trailer by that garbage
yeah.
dump.
And people always said I had childbearing hips, and you know,
I didn't like
and
that. I didn't like that
yeah, I don't know
critique.
what that meant, you know, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, you know,
Yeah, you
a little
should.
bit of
This is probably a good place for you to mention the Pelotron, or what's it called? The Peloton.
Peloton. Yeah, look, I
Yeah,
mean,
you usually try to work it in. I'm trying to work it in for you.
I appreciate that, you know, but to me, it's all about, you know, going back to your picture here, mirror life. You know, I'm all about the mirror.
I would.
I love,
This is
yeah.
the tannest. This is the tannest I've ever been.
And you look great.
This was a summer when I was going outside a lot, and I was in the sun so much my hair turned blonde. Have you ever
Oh,
done that
great.
where
Summer
you
blonde.
spend
Yeah.
so much time in the sun that my hair turned blonde, and I was just having a great time with it.
I love it. You know, Rob, I feel like these are great ideas for a lot of people. You know, I think we give them some perfect Father's Day gift ideas. Again, just go to our website. You can buy all of this stuff. If you want to buy it all, you can also do that. That's
Oh yeah,
you know, it's expensive. It does, you know, there's no discount.
we're not going to give you a
Yeah.
discount for that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can, it works like a normal website. You can buy whatever you want on it. Now, Rob, I will say, you know, we've been back now for the last 2 weeks, and we haven't really checked out our Discord. I don't know, Molly, do we have our guest ready, or is that guest unavailable? I want to just ask Molly. Oh, great. All right. So, hey, we're gonna pop you out for 1 second. I'll explain the bit, and then we'll bring it back in. So that's a real guest. You're gonna see a real guest.
That's a real person.
A real person. Here's the deal, Rob. You and I are big fans of Shark Tank. We're big fans of the CNBC show, The Profit. And why do we love it? Because we love people with big ideas, entrepreneurs. Yeah. And we wanted to help the next wave of entrepreneurs. These are people who have an idea, but have no means to execute it and probably never will execute it. So this is kind of a hypothetical Shark Tank. We're bringing in somebody from the Discord with an idea for something, and we're going to tell him if
so
it's
he
good
has
or
an
not.
idea for a business that if I want to, can I invest in this business for real? Because
you could, but he has no he or she, but we have already seen it's he has no it's not in process yet.
It's just an idea. Okay.
It's just an idea, but maybe we'll be inspired.
Maybe I buy the idea from him.
And that's part of the thing. So now let's bring in our guest to Hypothetical Shark Tank. Welcome. Hey, what's going
Hey,
on? How are you?
how's it going, guys?
Good. It's going really good. So, welcome to Hypothetical Shark Tank. And
Um,
what is your name?
I'm Jeff.
Jeff. Welcome, Jeff.
Jeff, where do you live and what do you do?
I am near Columbia in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I love it. All right.
That's
And
where that's my old neck of the woods. That's where my family lives.
Yep.
You sound like you knew that already, or you were planning to go by and see my family later.
Well, I probably shouldn't admit that in a public forum.
No.
Let's just say no.
No, please stay away from my family. So do you have an idea for a business or a product?
Yeah, absolutely. I got this idea after spending a lunch with my mom.
Well, first of all, say I hate to interrupt you, but say hello, sharks, and then say it.
Of course. Hello, sharks. I come to you with a proposition.
Hello. Wait, hold on, Jeff.
Hello.
Jeff. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
So I had this idea after having lunch with my mom one day. The name of this app is called Who's That? And that is the app that, like Shazam, will identify who your parent is talking about.
I like this. Okay, so Jeff, this is great. Is it just for people in your family, or is it just for celebrities, or is it a mix?
Mostly for celebrities.
Okay, got it.
So, Jeff, what do you mean exactly? Your mom is telling a story about a show that she's watching, and she can't figure out who the actor is. Okay.
Yeah, she'll say, the guy from that movie, Steve Rodman, and then you would say that into the app, and then boom, Seth Rogen.
I like this, Steve Rodman. Now, here's something that it would really help. Again, I can recognize where this comes in great. When I was on Veep, my mom was watching every week.
Here we go. Plug in.
Plug in Veep, the second to last season, where I won that SAG award over there.
It's too blurry. We can't see, Paul.
I'm bringing it to frame. But my mom never talked to me about it. And at the end of the season, I was like, Mom, you never said anything about me being on Veep. And she's like, you were never on it. And it took me a long time to figure out that she was watching Madam Secretary, which is a show with Tia Leone that she.
Oh, you're great on that. You're great on Madam Secretary.
Well, my mom found that show really very likable. She's like, I was watching for you. Are you in the scenes with the dog? And I said, the dog? And she's like, yeah, there's a dog on the show. I go, there's no dog on the show. So my mom, that would even help my mom at home be like, to help them clarify like what to even watch, like so they wouldn't get confused by Veep and Madam Secretary. Right. I like that.
Presumably she could also use IMDb for that.
Well, I mean, that's a very heavy internet.
Well, that's my question to you, Jeff. How is your app different from IMDb?
Well, it specifically acts as a translator. They're gonna
you just say the word. You just say, but do you have to say like clues or the name of a show that the person has been on?
Just generally, however someone in their 60s or 70s would describe a celebrity, that's how it translates into who you're looking for.
Oh, okay. So while they're sort of lost in their sort of process, you just hold out the phone and you record them going, "Who's that guy? He was on Dukes of Hazzard, and he was on Small Wonder, and then he was on Airwolf," and then you tell your mom, and then the app tells your mom exactly who it was.
I like that. I like this idea. I mean, Rob, where is the money in this? Rob, do you see a lot? Because are you going to charge for this? Because if you're charging for it, it's on an app on a phone. I'm worried about parents even being able to get it. Like what I'm looking for is more of an emergency, like an Amber Alert, or what do they call those things that I've fallen and I can't get a life alert. I'm looking for one of those that a parent can wear.
Hold on, Paul. Jeff, back me up here. Paul, do you not legitimately know the difference between life alert and an Amber Alert?
I kind of feel like the name should be different. I feel like when someone is kidnapped, it should be a life alert.
When you get an Amber Alert that says, a child has been stolen and they're in a Chevy Malibu, blah, 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 blah. Do you think that is an ad for a device that you use when you fall down and you can't get up?
Well, what I thought was that most children have those around their neck, and so when they are kidnapped, they just hit that button, and that's how the word gets out.
That is a better product. That's
way better than what I have. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Would you like to buy that?
You just blew Jeff out of the water. Jeff wants to get in on this product.
You put a special necklace for your kids to prevent them from being kidnapped, but it also is a tracker for them. So like you'll never lose them.
I'm telling you, we should stop the stream right now and go and trademark this, because this would be, you could sell this on Fox News like so hard.
It actually feels like a good one. Yeah, I like this.
Hello, sharks. How do we now the question is, how do we cut Jeff out of this deal?
Well, he wasn't a part of it. He was he was talking about it as an app.
I really wasn't either. Like, it was really your idea, and I'm just trying to
But Rob, you brought it, you served me up. I wouldn't have gotten in that line of thinking unless you kind of helped me reevaluate my Amber Alert, Life Alert thinking. So I'm going to cut you in here. Jeff, I'm going to give you a position at this company. Yeah, I'm going to make you social media director.
Someone in the chat is already trying to shoot holes in our logic.
Okay, why?
And say, can't the child just wear a tile? You know, a tile is one of those little tracking
things. But okay, first of all, how are you going to keep a tile on? I mean, I guess you could put a tile on a chain, but if you could put a tile. Well, I mean, but then if I hit it, it's going to go off like boo.
So with our service, with our Amber Alert device, the child pushes a button and it gets a 24 hours, 7 days a week operator that says, like, where are you? What's going on? Like,
no. Okay, no, this is right. Now you're all off the. Listen, sharks. Let me tell you what is happening here. Okay, what is happening is you hit this button, a silent alarm goes off that is also a tracking beacon. So immediately we know you've been kidnapped and we know where you are. But the kidnappers don't know. Now, if I'm at home and I lose my kid in the house, you know, they're hiding in a closet or a laundry chute, you know, or under the stairs, like, because they're trying to be Harry Potter.
Your kids are always in the laundry chute.
Oh, I mean, they're always trying to get up and down that laundry chute. You know, because I can't afford to go to Disneyland, so I just shoot them down there, and I'm like, this is the best ride you'll ever have. So that then you could activate something that would make noise. But this is sort of this. Now, people have talked about, should it be implanted in their body? Sure, but you have to be able to push it or something.
That's what the COVID vaccine is. Obviously, that's what the COVID vaccine is.
Yeah, I mean, it's magnetic stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, I think the key to this thing is being a silent alarm. Yeah. Jeff, are you in?
I'm absolutely in. How much do you need?
Now we're just pitching Jeff ideas. Jeff came on with an idea. We flipped that, and we're asking him if he wants to partner with us.
All right. Well, Jeff, let me tell you, you're playing hardball with me, Jeff. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna get this on a cost-effective basis. We're gonna find all the old people with life alerts. We're gonna push them downstairs. We're gonna steal their bracelets. We're gonna redo them. So we're gonna take them, or we just wait until an old person falls on the stairs and we take it and we recycle it. So either way.
I would suggest taking the life alerts before you push them down the stairs.
Smart.
Because that's kind of what they're there for.
Now.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to take
just to test that logic a little bit.
Sure.
We're still going to, even if we reprogram them, which I'm all for. I don't have a problem with pushing the old people down, stealing their life alerts, reprogramming them.
Yeah.
But technically, if the child pushes the button, it's still going to go to a operator at the life alert center.
Oh,
cuts down on operating costs.
You know, you think that's a good thing? Okay, I was thinking that
I was
thinking that the operator would be confused. You're saying we form a legitimate partnership with Life Alert.
No, you just let them know that, hey, if you get any of these calls, just give us a call. We're good. We don't have to train you.
What about this?
Yeah.
What if we send in like 5 of our pre-screened operators to interview for jobs at Life Alert?
Okay.
So when calls come in there from the stolen kids, our operators get the calls and know what to do. So they act like they're working at Life Alert for the old people, but it's really when
Okay.
we steal the necklaces and reprogram them and give them to kids, sell them to kids, then our operators working inside can then field those calls.
Well, now I'm going to add one layer to it as well. That we also have a contingent of operators, 2 or 3 of them, that work in the field as kidnappers to get the kids, and we've already created some sort of a line so that we get word of mouth. Yeah, we're getting word of mouth out that this thing works. Yeah, we're going to bust those guys.
But just to be crystal clear here, Paul, because I think I like what I'm hearing, but I'm not sure. Are you saying we are going to go into the kidnapping business?
Well, here's the thing. Describe kidnapping business. Kidnapping, all right, we're going to do faux kidnappings because they will appear to be real to the child and the family, but we're never going to do anything to harm the child. We are never going to hurt them. We are just going to...
So we do this maybe a few times, get a lot of media attention. Yeah, just to get some word of mouth. We get our publicists on this. And then after that, we stop kidnapping kids.
Of course, right? unless sales go down, then we bop it back up. But all we need is a couple of high profile. Yeah, you get a couple of high profile parents on TV weeping in relief that their child is back. And how do they get back from a kid alert or an Amber Alert?
Amber Alert.
Yeah.
Jeff, you have been very helpful, and I'm glad to be in business with you, man. I feel like we've learned a lot about you, and
that reason I'm out for you, but I hope that you're in for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I figured this was going to go.
Yeah, I will say, Jeff, you seem like a nice guy. I'm totally out, but because you live near my family, my parents and my brothers, I would ask you that even though I'm out, please do not harm my family.
Well, it's been a terrible past 10 minutes of conversation if you don't want me kidnapping kids.
Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I feel like that was not a yes or a no. So
that was mysterious.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Wow. Well, we just invented something.
What I don't like is that we do this for free for the public, and I'm not sure that a lot of people that watch this show aren't also entrepreneurs and are going to steal this great idea, because this is just you coming up with something, and immediately we know that this is a product that's going to change lives and help people, and we're going to make a shitload of money. And by the way, Paul, now that he's off the stream, I will say if we cut Jeff out, we're going to make a third more money. So
we got to get him out of here. And
we got to get him out.
We got to get one of the that one operator we're talking to do the kidnapping, who seems a little bit like he wants to do kidnapping. Yeah. I think we got to get that operator to go out there and rough him up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about this off air.
We can figure out a way to eliminate Jeff physically, legally, however we have to do it. Yeah, but I'm hoping that no one watching the show tries to run off with this idea, because if they do, I will say, and I don't like to threaten people, but we will find out and we will come after you.
Yeah, we will do that. And I think it's already lovely that we've already started mourning Jeff. Hashtag remember Jeff. And I think, and Jeff was a great guy. We really loved him. And I'm so sorry that whatever happened with that crossbow accident to Jeff, and our condolences.
He's already been taken care of.
Yeah. There's Jeff. Jeff is even tweeting there, RIP me. So thank you. Thank you, Jeff. So Rob, our first guest is coming up in a second. But I want to get more into this hypothetical Shark Tank. So if you have an idea, this could almost be its own show. We should just sit around with people and have a good ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any ideas that you like, or that you would never do, that you think? Yeah.
All the time. And my main idea that I seriously want to do, that I just don't know if I will ever do it. Yeah. But I've always wanted to do a Halloween, like very scary maze, like a real, like attraction, I could only do like one location, but like to do a very scary like Halloween attraction for like a month, just try to
Okay,
make
yeah.
a shitload of money. And so my idea that I've always wanted to do is a maze that you have to go through, but you have to go through alone. You're totally alone.
Ooh, I like that.
You're also strapped to a wheelchair, and
Okay.
someone's pushing you, so that you
Ooh.
have no control over
You don't know which way you're
where
gonna
you're
go.
going. Yeah. And so I've always wanted to do a super scary, like sort of like a insane asylum or something like that, just for October. But and every year I've thought like I should just take off for the summer and plan it and do it because it would be fun.
It would be amazing. That would be huge.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I did one thing that's not similar to it, but that was super scary. It was like some interactive horror house, and they put you in a chair right in the middle of the room, and there's weird shit going on around you.
Cool.
And then and they don't really like, they touch you, but they're always they're pretty gentle with you for the most part.
They're not going to hurt you. Yeah.
But then this one part, they're getting closer and closer to you, and they start to surround you. And then one person pushes your chair over, and boom, your chair goes over, and you're on like almost rails, like a roller coaster rails, and they whipped you through like a dark tunnel, but you are in the chair upside down, like on rails.
Where was that?
That was in LA, like one of these weird things that I've gone to with Jason Wolner.
Awesome.
It was so crazy. And then when you popped up on the other side, you were in this like disco, and it was like this crazy thing, and you had to do a dance to get out of the next room. But that was frightening and great. But all the things, they were safe with it,
That's a great idea. Yeah, I think that I just love like live interactive stuff like that. I think that's a fun thing that like people will always do, not just scary stuff, but like like remember that time we went to that magic show in LA, and that like in that weird deli place that was
oh yeah, that was Helder. Yeah. It was like a fake deli, and then you had to go. Yeah, that was awesome.
That blew my mind. Like just to do a weird pop-up magic show in this secret location that people have to find out about. Like I was so impressed by that.
Well, like the whole idea, and we'll bring out our first guest in 1 second. The whole idea was that you got this address, and you were walking around, and the address didn't exist, so it forced you to go into this like bodega, like this deli, and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm looking for like 289, and the guy's like, no, there's no 289 here, and then you would be like, fucking, I'm late, I don't know what's going on, and he's like, you should take a photo in the back, and we're like, what? And then people go, and I remember going, I'm not gonna do that, and I walked outside, and we're trying to text each other where it is, and then we realized, oh, this is like a code, and we went inside. And you take a photo in the photo booth, and as the flash goes, the door opens, and then you're in this like magical other room. It was so
remember that
cool.
It was that little girl. That little girl opened the other side.
Yes.
Yeah. So
man.
it was like a photo booth. You sit in this photo booth in this weird deli, and you take a picture. And right after you take the picture, the wall slides open, and a little girl goes, shh. And then you follow this girl into this like theater where there was like a magic show. It was so, anyway.
It was so good. That guy's awesome. Helder Gumaris. He did a TED Talk. He also did a bunch of virtual stuff on the quarantine. I'm actually very excited for this next guest. This is a friend of ours who is an amazing visual artist. He also is a former professional basketball player. He is the co-host of a podcast, and he has this amazing art show coming up starting in LA, and it's going to travel a little bit more. Hear all about that. But please welcome Rod Benson. What's up, Rod?
Benson. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up, going on?
It's new to talk to you guys outside of birds, right? Or whatever the Franklin.
Yeah, we would do this show at UCB, and hopefully one day that will come back. But yeah, Rod would come check out our improv show, and you were friends with some people in our show, and we would hang out over at Birds. And that's kind of how I got introduced to you, and then started following you because our friend Phil, who's been on the show before as well, Phil Jackson, he bought some of your art, and your art is unbelievable. It's really like really beautiful stuff, man. I want to kind of show people what it is here just a little bit so they get a little taste of this.
Rod, how long have you been making art?
Man, just about 3 years. That's funny. That Urkel's like the first one one of the first paintings I did. And JaVale McGee owns that somewhere in his house. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You've
just
been
super random.
for...
He just texted me and he's like, "Yo, what's up with Urkel? Can I get it half off?" I'm like, "Sure, man. Whatever."
Wait, so you've been painting for 3 years? I thought you were going to say, "Well, I've been painting my whole life, like since I was a kid." And
No. But I mean, I did. I had a clothing line pretty much the whole time I was playing basketball. So, I learned graphic design, and I kind of cheated that process of composition and color. But I didn't start painting till I retired about 3 years ago.
Whoa,
man.
And did you play basketball? Where did you play, like all over the world? I'm trying to remember, because when we talked to you at UCB that time, I thought you were telling me that you like played all over the world and stuff.
Yeah, I played everywhere. I mean, first 4 years, mostly the D League, like every summer league and camp available. Spent some time with the Pacers and Nets, and then France for a year, and then rest of my time was in South Korea for 8 years.
And you're getting like all-star awards in Korea. Like, I mean, like you're playing there and you're average, like you have like a great average there. It's like, but that's amazing too. Like to see that side of, like, I mean, because I've only heard that like in Europe, like you are like treated almost better than like NBA stars in a way, or at least that's what I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I wouldn't say Europe. I hated Europe. I hated. I'll never play in France again.
Oh, wow.
Not like I'm playing anymore, but yeah, wow.
Tell me about that. Why is it so shitty?
Well, I mean, when you go to Europe, there's actually, I mean, if you're a player of the level that goes to Europe, which is like, I'd say guy, 8 on an NBA team to like, 2 or 3 guys who might miss the roster are going to the good European teams. Everyone on those teams is also good. And they've been in these teams and programs for years and years. Like, imagine if Luka Doncic didn't come over right away and he was still on, Madrid or whatever team he was on. We're looking at a guy who's been there 10 years, who's also like ready to go to the NBA. So they don't necessarily give you all that leeway. You're like kind of just a guy until you become the man there. In Europe, in Asia, they just hand you the ball. That's why Jimmer Fredette scores 80, right? It's like literally do whatever, Jimmer. You're here. You're the guy. Do whatever. He averages like 60 shots a game. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you don't see that in Korea as much, but it's totally different.
Wow.
And I mean, it's a crazy thing too, because like anything can kind of happen. I know I'm a big Pat Beverly fan, and like he was in Russia for a little bit of time and kind of then came back over here too. So it's funny how now I also feel like people have like, well, maybe I'm wrong on this, but people feel like they've caught on because there's been like a real European expansion, or I feel like there's more and more European players coming over too, and the people are realizing that there's talent to be snatched up over there.
I want to see more.
One thing
Rod's art. Yeah.
One thing I say about Europe that I think people really don't get, especially when I first went out there, when Euros would come over to the D League, is how people just perceive them to be soft. And it's like some dude from like Serbia who's grown up like eating like bags of rice and like boiling ants his whole life. It's like, they're not scared of you, my guy. Like they've been through everything. Like, they're equally as tough, if not tougher. And all they do is get big. Like, they're not worried about being fast.
Right.
It's unreal.
Wow.
But there is like an energy to them. Like when you see them like play, like you're like, there is like their form is not like finesse, but their accuracy is like insane. But so you get into art, and what I think I'm kind of blown away by is like your style is so clean and clear, or at least what I'm seeing from when I started following you. Like you really like picked a style right away, and it's spray paint, or is it like, talk to me about like what you're using? What are you like?
Yeah, it's a mix of spray paint, acrylic. I use a lot of paint pens for like details and stuff like that. But I really became a big fan of like street art, Banksy. Those, is the biggest name. But in like 2011, and when I first started painting, it was more like, how can I emulate that? Just for fun. I wasn't trying to make a career of it. So I mean, I'd say that Issa Rae is like the second to last painting I did, while still kind of emulating that. And for the show, it's totally different. But when you do that style, like the sharp lines and everything does make it more graphic. It's like really, really easy to digest. So that's why I guess it's called pop art. But You know, I like art that I can understand. I don't like walking in a room and there's just like a dot in a canvas and people are telling me $1 million. I'm like, who gamed you? Who sold you on this?
Well, I mean, I know, but there's something, and I also just think that like your style, it's so bright and it's vibrant, and you're right. Like I just feel like the first time I saw your stuff, I was like, oh, I'm immediately brought into it. And I think that, you know, we're going to talk about you have a show coming up this weekend, but and this is your older stuff, or not older, but not the stuff that's going to be in the show, but this is, you know, it's so like, what is the kind of the theory and behind like the color palettes that you use here? Is that just the pop art thing? Is that something that you are putting on it?
No, that's definitely a me thing. I mean, people have known me for years, know that I'm very much into bright colors and stuff like that. But I mean, if I have like 30 seconds, I'll tell you like what really started it was. This is an amazing story. Yeah. Yeah. I was in Las Vegas about 3 years ago, like July 2018 for the Summer League, literally there to help a Korean team scout. And some friends from college who I hadn't seen since college hit me up and they said, let's go out tonight. I'm retired. I'm like, yeah, I can do anything. I'm in Vegas for the Summer League. Let's get it. I mean, 20 minutes into being at whatever club, like we never even made it to the dance floor, just walking through. It's Summer League. So everyone's like kind of grabbing on me, like trying to like just yell like LeBron. Like, obviously I'm not LeBron. Like, leave me alone. You know, like trying to stop my, like impede my progress, to use a sports term, to get to the main area. So I'm like kind of like swimming through folks. I guess I swam the wrong guy. And before I know it, my friends didn't even know it, I was being picked up by my neck and dragged into some back room. And I'm placed in handcuffs, face down. And the guy that I did that to sits down in a chair across from me, like Basic Instinct or something, like just looking at me.
He flashed his beaver? He flashed.
Oh yeah, the whole thing. He was wearing a skirt. It's provocative, to be honest. But no, and so like, I guess whenever a black person goes through like this moment where they like the police brutality, it's the first question is why, like what's happening? And there's no answer to that. I'm down there probably 15 minutes and I'm like, you know, I need to speak to the police. And they're like, we are the police. Like they have real police working at the club. Yeah. And they kept me there for 2 hours until he decided to not press charges, which of course there were no charges to press. And then they kicked me out.
Who was the guy? Who was this person that
I'll never know. I'll never know. Like, you know, the people with the most money are usually the most unassuming, right? So
crazy.
I assume he had some sort of big pull there.
So from that experience, you were like, fuck this.
Well, from that experience, I was supposed to stay for a week. The next day, this was day one, I didn't leave my hotel room. Like I've gone through stuff like this before, but just having to look in this guy's eyes for so long, I was just like broken. And I ordered a bottle of like Kettle One to the room and just drank it and blacked out. And then changed my flight when I woke up the next day and came back home. Didn't stay the whole time. And there was these 3 huge canvases waiting for me. And I painted a Colin Kaepernick. And I had been doing some painting before then, just like recreationally. And people used to say, you should have a show. You should have a show. And I did the Kaepernick. And I was like, you know what? I am going to do a show. And I'm going to call it Neon Black. And the idea is that dark doesn't have to be dangerous, that black is also vibrant. And the color in my paintings is a direct reflection of that.
Dude, do we have? We probably don't have the Kaepernick one, do we?
I don't have the Kaepernick one, but I do have some of the stuff coming up in this show that you have. Let's see it. Take a look here. So
when does your show start, Rod?
The show starts tomorrow. Nice. Tomorrow night
in LA.
Yeah, in downtown, next to the Earth Cafe in the Arts District, like a minute.
Which is a great area down there. I've been down there now. It's like it really is like exploded, and this is probably one of the first shows kind of back. I mean, you're kind of hitting at the right time. This is Neon Black 2, and it's and people want to go out. They want to see stuff, and it starts in LA and it goes up to San Francisco too, right?
San Francisco, and then to Las Vegas, and I'll be in Las Vegas for a few weeks. So it's really ambitious, also. But yeah, we've all been locked in. Why not swing a little harder? You know what I mean,
dude? So fun. Yeah.
Talk to me about like, you know, I will show some pieces here, but we could talk about each one or whatever. But like, what is the theme of this show versus the last show, or, how are you going about creating this? Because we also had a year and a half. We're all trapped in, indoors here too. So I imagine that may have been a really interesting creative time. I mean, you definitely did some cool stuff. I'll show you this one show everybody this one thing. Like you were just kind of you saw this, you were inspired, you made this. Like you're kind of always creating. But does this show have a theme?
Yeah. So I mean, Neon Black 1 was exactly what I just said, but a lot of my pieces were, kind of like that Urkel, or even the Issa Rae, where it's kind of the subject and then the background is kind of muddied, like you can't really see the full background. And the idea is that the messages that Black people kind of try to get out are they're hidden, they're behind us, they're not in front of us. In this show, there's no celebrities. I mean, I guess there are technically, because I just happen to be friends with some people, but it's not like based on that. And this is my boy Leonard. He's on my improv team. And for this show, the idea is that the background and the foreground are now kind of one and the same. They're like interspersed in this like unique way. And except for the hair is the only part that's not obstructed. Oh, wow. So on each painting, the black hair is the part that captures you, and then is on top, and then the rest of the detail goes in and out. So this one's actually Phil.
I was going to say, Phil. Yeah,
that's Phil. And to your point about the last year and a half, I mean, last summer I was protesting like every day until I burnt out. And then I took a trip to Joshua Tree and I did a video out there that was just really like brought me back to center. So Phil's painting is actually the representation of that, like with the fists and then like kind of the sunset and like the moonrise at the same time being in Joshua Tree. So,
dude, you need to do an album cover for Phil. If people don't know, Phil Augusta Jackson is a buddy of ours who's just like such a great musician and writes on Issa Rae's show, and just a super funny
brand new show. Yeah. And he came on and debuted his video a couple weeks ago on the Seth Rogen show. Yeah. And but this is, so this is kind of, what are you expecting? Like, what is it like? I know you're a performer, you're a professional athlete. You obviously it's not uncomfortable for you to be in front of people, but maybe I'm putting your words in your mouth. Is it nerve-wracking to be in the center of your art as people are kind of like looking at your art? Like, is this the most stressful thing, or is it easy because it's all done?
Oh God, that sounds like a nightmare, to be at the show and walking around, and people may not know what you look like. Like, not everyone may know you, so it's terrifying.
I would say that it's it's funny. I write for SF Gate, and I wrote this article about mental health in sports. So I ended up talking about it a lot, especially after the Naomi Osaka thing. And what I kept saying to people is like, you don't realize like at all what an athlete's like mental conditioning is. Like, even when you call someone soft, it's like, it's meaningless. It's a meaningless term. And I say that to say that I'm so conditioned to like be ready for a moment that it's really unusual for me to like feel like that stuff anymore. It's like, if anything, if I like start crying or something, like in general, I like want it. I'm like, oh my God, like, please, like, come on.
Right.
Get there. Because I've got everything so locked in, and it's so like when the show comes, I'll enjoy it. It's going to be a great time, but I'm not sitting here with like butterflies and stuff like that. It's more like, man, I'm just so prepared for every like stressful situation in life just from playing sports for so long.
Yeah. Can I like stand on my soapbox for a second and just get your opinion on this? I had such an issue with the way that Paul George was treated last year in the bubble, because here's a guy who clearly is having a mental issue. In that first round, he was, you're trapped in Orlando in this bubble. And I felt like, and the same thing with Naomi Osaka too, like people belittle it and it becomes like this joke, like, you're failing, or oh, it's so big. Oh, what's the big deal? You're doing press. Oh, that's right. And it's like, and I feel like it becomes a punchline, because you feel like, you feel like that in sports reporting, that is like an easy thing. It is like mental health is viewed as like a weak thing, like, or something like that. I just feel like that, like watching the way that he got ripped apart, and it's like, this guy's clearly having a nervous breakdown, and you're not, you're just ripping on him.
Yeah, I think that a lot of what you said is true. I do think Paul George and the Clippers were an exception last year. This year, I don't really put them in that category, but the way they were taunting teams on their way to this, number 1 seed or number 2 seed in the West really just made people like, oh my God, if they lose, like, you can't do the stuff they were doing and then lose. So
Yeah,
I mean, I do think he deserves like respect for having a breakdown. But if you know you're prone to breakdowns, you might not want to talk as much shit as he was talking. Like you want to keep it to yourself a little bit.
I think that is a fair point. And I forgot, like, I am forgetting Cancun on 3. I'm just thinking about him. Yeah. And like, you're right. That's like, you're right.
Your point is really valid, Paul. I think that like, because you do see that a lot where sports fans and I think like the sports media is always like, yeah, come on guys, like, just do the press, just suck it up, just be tough, you're an athlete, be tough. Like, so it seems like it gets like it seems like a crazy thing for an athlete to reach out for help or say that like they need help or they're going through a hard time like that. Like the Naomi Osaka thing is so.
I did an interview with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker for Fox Sports Radio, right? Yeah. And I didn't know what I got a lot of media requests that week because of the article. So most of them were like, "Oh, don't you agree with Naomi Osaka?" This one just right out of the gate, like, "We don't believe in this. Like, we don't believe anything."
Right.
And it was so like belittling to her, and it was just like, guys, you don't even like. Oh, I have to do my job. Why didn't she have to do her job? I'm like, if part of your job said you had to take a shit in front of everybody every day, wouldn't you decide like who made these rules? Like we don't just stand by the way if Rob Parker's job was the same now as it was 50 years ago, he wouldn't have a job, right? This is the idea that things evolve and get better is a crucial part of humanity. Like let it happen.
Yeah, you're right. And I think it's easy also for broadcasters to be like, why are you having a trouble doing press? Like, well, you're trained to be a broadcaster. That's your job. It's like if no one's saying like Naomi Osaka saying I'm having trouble playing tennis. Like, it's like the job is that. And it's like I always love Marshawn for being like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. It's like great, just be on the level about what you want and how you want to do it. And that's, but it's sort of it's a weird dance that like people are made to go through the minute after a heart-wrenching moment or a triumphant moment. It's like you have to immediately find a way to share it,
that's a bizarre thing that I can never get used to. And I've just, we've seen it our whole lives is like right after a gigantic life-changing moment, athletes get a microphone and a camera in their face and they have to articulate what they're feeling emotionally and what they're going through. And like, I feel like most guys or most people are just like, they just fall back on like a stock answer. Like, well, we've trained hard and we put a lot of preparation into this and this is a team thing. And, you hear all those sort of stock things, but like, it's just extraordinary to me that like the amount of pressure on you, like, wow, you just won the, Wimbledon. Like, what does it feel like? Like how can I tell you? I'm going through this.
Right.
Yeah. We're taught very early what not to say. So we don't say anything. And again, Rob Parker was like, yeah, most of the interviews I've done have been mundane. It's not some gotcha moment. I said, if they're so mundane, why keep doing them? The ones
what are you getting from it?
The only interviews we ever talk about are the ones where someone acts crazy while they still have their jersey on. And usually it's after a loss. Like, what are we doing? What are we asking people to really do?
And it's also like, it's like the one time you wouldn't want it. It's like take a breath before you text, like that kind of energy. It's like, sometimes you need to have a moment to like, and now I'll go back in. But that's, you've gotten this a lot in your career too. Cause you were at I forget where you were writing your columns, but like people were like nervous, like you were going to expose too much of like the other side of the industry to a certain degree. Like, what are these like agreements that you've made, like about coaches and players and stuff like that? Like, cause there is this sort of dance of like, we don't want you. I mean, I guess it's the same for everybody, every profession. Like, we don't want you to see behind the curtain. But I think especially for people who are not in sports, it's really like, what is going on there? And you see it like whether or not it's that athletic article that came out this week about the Dallas Mavs, and Mark Cuban's like, that's bullshit. And then 3 days later, like, everyone's left the Dallas Mavs. It's like, oh, it's not, it's just something different. Before you go, where people are loving your art, I'm going to show one more piece in a second, but I wanted to ask your opinion about jerseys. And I feel like jerseys, NBA jerseys, I know that you have this fashion background, you have an art background, you have a great eye. I want to just see what your take is on some of these jerseys of some of the final teams, if they can be styled up, if they couldn't be, if you could design a jersey for a team, what would you do? But this is I think that this is a good jersey. I like whatever the Suns have been doing with their jerseys. I feel like they have a good look. Would you agree with the Suns? Just not on the team basis, but just on jersey basis. Are they doing it? Are they working it here?
Yeah, I think the Valley jersey and the Utah jersey that's similar are both excellent.
Yeah.
The gradient use is phenomenal, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of these jerseys are trash, though. I'm sure you're about to show me some that I really hate, but this is a good one.
I know that's what I was going to say. I wanted to start it off really good. I like this one. So I'm like, this is like, I want to set the baseline. And then I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this era that came in here. The Raptors going in camo. And I wanted to ask.
There's so much wrong with this. There's so much wrong with this. You know, the Raptors are in Canada, right? Like, are they hyping the Canadian military, the RCMP? Like, who is supposed to be honored with this jersey, first of all?
Are they supposed to be like Raptors hiding in the bushes? I don't know.
Yeah, it's also like it's not regular camo, right? It looks like very leafy. It's very specific camo that I don't think anyone in the military actually wears. You know, I grew up in San Diego where it's like the Padres used to have, or like the only team used to always have like a military jersey day, but it's because the like Marine base is right there. What is this about? I have no idea what this is about.
I would hunt in that though. I would go out hunting in that.
Oh well, Rob, save it because you might want to save up your money and get a Spurs jersey. Like
so just sorry that I don't watch that much basketball. These are real, or did you
no,
these are real. Okay.
These are real.
These are like these are terrible. Like these are
these look like rec league softball jerseys. Like seriously.
Yeah.
And rec league softball jerseys are the wildest creations ever. It's just clip art on top of clip art. And then like something about the police on it. That's what this looks like.
This guy looks like he put like his white jersey in with his dark socks or something like that, or like just like like a toner cartridge or something exploded in the washing machine.
This is deer hunter look. This is like I'm going to hunt. I mean, but here's my question, and I've heard rumors from different teams like when you get assigned a jersey like this that you have to wear it because it's your team. Is there ever a revolt like, no, we hate this jersey? Like, you know, it's like, because I guess you have to wear it. You know, I mean, have you ever been in that situation where you had a jersey you didn't like?
I honestly, no. I mean,
okay.
I feel like it doesn't, this is still rare. I guess if you're in the league, you play this many games, it's more just like, oh, this is different. Like you might think it's cool, but we're also seeing like something 10 years old, right? I think a lot of the newer jerseys are super bad, like super terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to figure out which ones to show. Like this is one that I feel like a lot of people have a mixed opinion on. This is like the Bucks City jersey, which some of you are like, this is the dopest shit I've ever seen. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I just think having a thing that says Cream City, and I get it. Like if you're from Milwaukee, you might be like, we are Cream City. But this does not feel like I wouldn't want to put on a Cream City jersey.
Why is Milwaukee called Cream City?
Because of the beer, I think, right? Like the cream on top. I think that's what it is.
Okay, it sounds like Cream City sounds like a porno that I've watched recently.
It is a nice jersey, but you're right, Cream City. And I would also say like this just makes me think like when Las Vegas gets a team, it's just so many possibilities.
Oh yeah,
what they can put on the jersey way beyond Cream City if they choose to.
I wonder what the process is. Like, what are the meetings? Like, who submits ideas for these? You know, like I wonder if they reach out to artists or if it's just like, you know, Steve, the marketing guy, is like just fucking throwing in some of his own ideas.
A lot of places, like, you know, a lot of the NBA teams, like they have like an artist in residence, or they try to do stuff like what Rod, like what would you say is your favorite and your worst favorite jersey right now, and the professionally that you can think of that comes to mind?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like either that Utah or that Suns jersey. Again, I think it's just really, it's a good use of making something wild look good. Yes. I think the Dallas Mavericks jersey, where it's like supposed to be graffiti, is the worst thing I've ever seen. The color, I gotta put a picture of that. Actual graffiti is terrible. Like looks like, again, like a 4-year-old just said like, oh, I want to like design something for the streets.
It feels like a graffiti that you would have seen in like Shazam or something. Like here, like this is like here. I'm gonna pull it up here and just get it on the screen. It's this is it, like Mavs, you know, it's cartoon. It's like Space Jam. It's so Space Jam.
It is Space Jam.
And it's their city jersey. Like, have you been to Dallas? Like, this doesn't say anything about Dallas to me at all.
This is so Mark Cuban. Weak. Mark Cuban trying to be cool.
This is why the coach left.
Yeah, I know. Rick Carlisle left. It's like there's a lot of drama there. Rod, it's been great talking to you. And I'm going to give you a proper, your show is starting off in LA this weekend. Next weekend, that's in San Francisco. And then it is going to be in Las Vegas. We've put up the things here in the chat so people can check them out. You can follow Rod at ZSarion. You can listen to your podcast and you can find out everything you want to do. But come check out his show, see what's going on. It's awesome. I'm so psyched for you.
Rod,
and thank you for spending this time.
Rod, if people can't make it to your show, is there anywhere to buy your art? Like on your website, do you sell your art?
Yeah, I do. I don't have it listed with prices or anything. It's just a thing where you send me an email and there's available works there, and then I'll, we can talk about it. But just for the record, my IG handle is Gerion. A lot of people don't know that. It's my middle name. But people always say ZSarion, like they think it's like some joke, and I'm like, no, it's actually just my name.
I'm sorry. There we go. Like, well, then you follow, and that's how I've been following a lot of your art, especially during the pandemic. And there's cool stuff. Like I love the palm tree on the pink background that you did. Like, you did a bunch of like smaller pieces, just great stuff. It's awesome. So follow Rod, listen to Rod, read Rod, do it all. Thank you, Rod, for being here. Great to have you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
See you soon. All right, bye-bye. Good. The guy does that.
Good guest, Paul.
There it is.
Good
Come on.
Guest. I haven't seen Rod since we were doing live comedy shows. That's been a while. Yeah.
And he does that too. He's on improv teams. This guy does it all. We'll keep the guest train going right now. We have a great
this guest train is tonight is male model night. I mean, both of these guys.
About it. These guys, they got it going on.
So handsome.
Let's bring in our handsome friend here, Nick Thune. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah. Choo, baby.
Choo choo. The guest train.
How you guys doing?
I love it. We're doing good, man. You're looking good. You look like the quarantine treated you well.
The quarantine, it was so much self-care. It was so great.
Oh God. Oh, the best.
Yeah,
the best.
Time. Before the quarantine, I thought it was just called masturbating, but then I found out that self-care comes in so many different forms,
Yeah. Yes.
Can I ask you a question? And this is, I'm open to being labeled a complete idiot, but I feel like I've not had a forum for this. I don't know if you all saw Jeffrey Toobin on CNN last week, where he was brought out to discuss what happened to him. I believe that he is telling the truth, that he just did not know how to turn off the thing, and he wasn't trying to be a pervert. And if that's the case, my heart breaks for this guy. Like, I feel like, here's an old guy who's just trying to like do some self-care in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
and it did not work out for him.
Just a little self-care. I believe the guy. I don't, why would you do that? Why would you compromise your whole life?
Yeah. I felt mostly bad for that correspondent who had to 5 minutes before they're like, Christine, you're also going to be talking to Jeffrey and you're going to have to explore exactly what happened. She's like, whoa, what?
That she practiced that in the mirror so many times because it was so succinct and bald and like very much like, and then you did this and then you did that. And here you go. And he had to be like, but it was, no one wanted to be there. Like, yes, I did.
The part that I don't get was I was never in like a regular workday Zoom situation. So
yeah, I
guess if you were, eventually it just became mundane and you could self-care, during,
well, that's I kind of feel like he said the meeting was over and I feel like he was like, okay, this is my break. We're on a little break.
That 5 minutes before the meeting was over is when his mind started to turn like, okay.
Oh God. Can you imagine going to click activate your camera and you're like, my camera was already activated, and just dealing with the people that are sitting there like, Jeffrey, we need to talk.
I mean, well, here's the other thing that I would say is like, if it was, if you had to kind of pick like a path, I was embarrassed and I did it by accident, or I'm a perv. I guess I would just run. Like, they're both embarrassing. I would run with I'm a perv, and I had some weird deviance, and like it's almost an easier buy than just like I was just at home and I just needed to self-care. I feel like it's more humiliating to be like to do that. I'd rather be like, no, I have a problem. Like he's like, I'm working in a food kitchen.
He was having an affair, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
I think he was,
because he's married, and so he's masturbating. I mean, you're not supposed to do that, right?
Oh, well, that is true. Yes. Yeah, you're right. You know what? I didn't think of it like that. And that's where we really should have drilled him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about, the most important day of the year is coming up, as you know, Father's Day, which is the real Mother's Day. And you're a dad. We're dads.
We're all dads.
Yeah. And, and it's also like the summer and kids are around. Is your kid in a summer camp?
It's so funny that you said that to me today. I enrolled him in a camp today. He's in 3 different camps.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got him in a Lego camp, Lego robot camp.
Whoa.
And then a forest camp and a parkour camp.
Whoa.
Wait, these are awesome camps. Now I'm
these are 3 different weeks. Like,
okay.
Not like a full summer, like.
Yeah. It feels like every camp is about like a 2-week or a 1-week kind of like you're in and you're out.
And these are like local. These aren't like sleepaway camps where he does parkour up in Alaska every day for a week.
He might stay at a hotel. I don't know all his details, but
depends on. They may be doing parkour on the hotel. Like,
these are just like some of them are even half day.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. It's just like, please take them for.
Yeah. Dude, I worked at I went to summer camp when I was little, but it was like a camp up in the mountains in North Carolina. And, just like there has to be like a few hundred kids. Everybody's in cabins with their counselors and stuff. And then, so I went there when I was little, and then I worked there when I was in high school. And it was so fun. Like I just had the best time. I remember doing shit though that I was completely unqualified for when I worked there. Like they're like, do you want to be a lifeguard? And I was like, yeah, I'll be a lifeguard. And like, it was so all these kids like swam in this big lake, and I would like sit up in my lifeguard stand, and like I had 0 life-saving abilities at all. Like if anything had happened, I don't know what would have happened, but
not only unqualified for that, but also like, hey, can you have an emotional conversation with a teenager that will affect the rest of their life?
Yes, not at all qualified for that. Not at all.
I literally dropped my son off at a camp today that he hates. But and I won't say the name because I think the camp is fine, but he's just like, he's against it. Like he doesn't feel like they're athletic enough at this camp. Like he's critiquing their dodgeball skills when he gets home. And when I was dropping him off, like the counselor is so young, and I was like, I'm entrusting my child to this like teen. Like I'm like, and it's like, and you watch them like get out, and you're like, I don't know if I feel very comfortable or confident with it. So there's an energy there. It's like they're getting super drunk at night. They're like, let's go. Like, like they're hungover, and they're like taking care of my kid during the day. Like throw dirt, throw mud. Because I asked my kid today, I was like, what'd you do? And he was like, oh, we played mud ball. I'm like, what's that? He's like, we take mud and then we let it dry and then we throw it at each other. I'm like,
and what do you do during the drying process?
I was also like, I didn't understand how they got wet mud to dry and then used it as weapons, but whatever. I mean,
I was a counselor too, like the guy you're leaving your kids with for 5 years at the Boys and Girls Club. And I put on like the teen camps, which was mostly like,
is it
13
Seattle?
to 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would take them camping like 5 times a summer. And it was just me. And then I had like 4 buddies I hired as like staff for me.
Oh, wow.
And
so you would go out in the wilderness with like, how long are you gone? Like, are you gone for like a multiple days, like 4 or 5 days?
Yeah. Yeah. and I had a GTE wireless cell phone. I mean, it was just like so, you know. One of the times I drove a van, and it was a 10-passenger van. I had a U-Haul behind it, and we were kind of out in the rural part of Seattle, and we pulled out, and I had 3 vans behind me, and we're all going, and less than a mile out of the Boys and Girls Club, a deer jumps out of the bush in front of me, and I hit the deer like hard, you know, and I hit like the back end of it, so it kind of spins it off the road. And there's this autistic kid named Jeffrey that was like 30, but he was like still one of my like campers that I brought on all the camp, and he was like sitting shotgun. And the second that I hit it, he goes, "Nick killed a deer," you know, and all the girls start screaming. I got out, and the deer's like in the bushes and alive, but not like, it doesn't, like, it needs a mercy at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I called my boss and was like, "I killed a deer," and she's like, "Just we'll take care of it. Just keep going to the camp," you know. And the van was fine.
What do you mean, like take care of it? Like they're
gonna take care of it. Yes, they're gonna go strangle it. Strangle is the best way to say. Yeah.
With like a garage, like a piano wire. They do it real personal.
It's the easiest way to get them out. And so I take the kids to the camp, and I told all the kids that the deer was fine. I saw it running off, you know, like, wow, what a great, how lucky was that, right?
Yeah.
And we get there, and we're setting up our tents, and I look over, and this kid, Jeff, I'll never forget him. He spelled his name Geoff. I mean, what a fraud. And he's over on the payphone looking at me.
It's a pretty common spelling of Jeff. I will say that's a pretty common
fraud.
No, that's a fraud. That's Geoff. That's not Jeff. And he's over on the phone, and I'm like, "You're not supposed to make phone calls." He called his mom, and his mom goes, "Hey, I heard Nick killed a deer on the way out." So,
oh no!
Now Geoff goes and tells the whole camp. And so for the rest of the week, all these kids are crying, and I killed a deer, and I lied about it. And
man. I
just really failed it.
When I worked at my summer camp when I was a teenager, I also worked in the kitchen, like in the mornings, making breakfast for people. And the camp had all of these like really fun. They had a huge working farm, so they had like cows and chickens and horses and pigs and everything, and they had a huge garden, so they grew a lot of their own food and slaughtered a lot of their own livestock. But the kids didn't know that, so like these kids would be playing with like these pigs and like cows, and I'd be like, "Don't get too attached, bro."
Dude,
man, this is
one of the camps I went to had like a rodeo one of the nights, and they had a couple horses, and like one kid from each grade gets to like ride around the barrel with the horse, and then there's a water balloon toss, and it's like this big thing. Everyone's out, and the camp counselors have like a little play they put on where they have like guns and, you know, like whatever. And my brother I was his counselor this year, and he rode the horse, and the horse had a heart attack with him on it in the middle of, and this is a Christian camp, by the way, so this is like a total church camp. So the horse just collapses. My brother is like, what? They put a tarp over the horse. They move all the kids over to like the worship area, and basically started using this to get kids to God. Like, you know, like that. Like all these like kids are emotional, and we're praying.
Was the horse was the horse Christian?
Yeah, the horse but I guess it hadn't asked for forgiveness for all of its sins, so we're not sure what happened.
That is a problem sometimes too with these horses, because they get a little cocky.
Dude, that is fucked up that they tried to use that.
I mean, they weren't inadvertent. They weren't like saying it, but it was like the emotions were used, you know?
Yes. Oh, wow.
My parents, and, you know, I tell many a childhood story on this show and in my life, but my parents didn't really do any camp research, and they just dropped me off. Here it is, my child dropped me off and little weird things, and they enrolled me in LaSalle military camp.
What I think that fuck are you talking about, Scheer?
I think that they thought it was going to be.
What are you talking about?
They're like, "Oh, it's going to be fun," and it was like being in like. It was like being in the military. Like, we had to march. We couldn't use the bathroom unless it was like a predetermined time. Like everything was super organized. Like, I remember everything had to be walked. Every everything was on a straight line. So we were always making like these straight lines and hard lefts. And it was marching around this camp. And camp is supposed to be fun and free and kickball and everything. And this camp was like, we'll do fencing. And then at the end, and when you're done with your turn fencing, you sit in a line. Everything was organized. I think it was a camp for bad kids, but my parents didn't realize it. And yeah, and I remember the only thing I remember, and there was it wasn't sexual, but I was.
Oh God, where
it wasn't
going? Where is
it wasn't
going?
He was doing some
It
self-care.
It wasn't sexual, but it was enough of a warning bell that made my mom like pull me out, which was you couldn't go to the bathroom unsupervised. So like if you had to use the urinal, like someone would stand guard in the bathroom. And
That
I
is like
remember like it
rehab.
wasn't like right. It's like I was like, what could I do in here? And they wasn't like they were looking at me, they weren't over me, but it was like there was a person behind you, arms crossed, like just wait, like guarding you as if you were like a Secret Service agent. And
well, were you a problem child? Like, was this like a thing of like, okay, this is, if you don't straighten up, we're going to send you to camp.
I was in 5th grade, so I don't think I even had enough like rope to be a bad kid. Like I don't even think you can be a bad kid in 5th grade. I mean, maybe you can, but you know, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything untoward, you know, and maybe I cheated on a spelling test or two, but like, that's about it. Like, you know, I was fine.
I went to Boy Scout camp when I was like pretty little. And I can't remember if I remember getting, it was not like I had this really fun summer camp experience where, you know, where I went to that other camp and they had all the animals and horseback riding and stuff. And that's where I eventually worked. So when I went to Boy Scout camp, it was not fun for me. And my Boy Scout troop when I was little was really into like hazing and being like bad badasses. Like they were like, you know, it was like a kind of a rough Boy Scout troop. And so when I went to Boy Scout camp, because I was new, there was this thing that I don't think they really did, but they said that they did this, that they would take the new kid and they would lower him down on a rope into the latrine, into like the outdoor shithole, so you could like clean the shithole. And so I thought that was real and that they were going to come and get me at night and make me like clean the shithole at night. Oh. I was so scared and terrified because I was pretty little, and I remember trying to like write home. I was there for like a week. And I remember like trying to write home to my parents and like make it clear that like I was not having fun. Oh. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to be there. Anyway, so great stories.
Well, you know, this actually segues into the game that we wanted to play with you, Nick, which is, and we don't have a good title of it, but I'm going to say Camp or Not Camp. I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a better title eventually. But we're going to give you some real camps and some fake camps. And you're going to have to decide which is which. Is it a real camp or is it a fake camp that we made up? So I did a lot of research today to kind of figure this out. So here's the first one. People say camp or schmamp. Camp, maybe fake. I don't know. These are not better titles. All right. So here we go. This 2-week course is a study in mimicry and character recreation as your child will step into the roles that your entire family loves, from famous celebrities like The Rock and Joe Biden to a member of your own family that will have you seeing double. Impression camp.
Oh my God.
Are a real serious? Thing, or is it a real thing or a fake thing?
I got to say real.
Real. Okay.
It's got to be real. If it's not real, we're going to start one.
Okay. That is a fake camp. A fake camp started off all right with a fake camp. All right. But you have your chance to get some more points on the board.
Did you write that description? You sat down today and wrote that.
From the Rock to Joe Biden.
Sounded legit.
All right. So this is a good title. Camp or Shamp. Like a sham. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Rob, do you want to read this one, or you want me to read the next one?
Yeah, let me. You emailed it to me. This is high tech.
I mean, I can. If you get it up, I can do this one. You can do the next one. Here it is. This camp teaches children about the world of business. Kids can learn about business plans, networking, participating in an internship, and even getting out of the city for a lavish weekend getaway. Is this a camp or a shamp? Business camp, where they learn about networking, business plans, and extravagant getaways.
And what age range is it? Did it say?
This is for teenagers.
Okay. I'm going to say that's not a camp.
Well, you are wrong. That is the Social Enterprise Boot Camp in New York City.
Wow.
It is $5,000 for 1 week.
Paul, this is not a camp. This is all adults at a.
Well, this is a camp for kids. This is a camp. This is not.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, there was. I may have pulled the wrong slide, but that is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but so kids are going to learn about business.
Yes, it's for teens to learn about the world of business.
It sounds like they're just trying to put like Instagram business. Like it's for social media, right?
Well, that's what I thought, but it seems like when I did a little bit more research, it truly is about like building. I don't know, maybe it's like for people like that we're going to be on Succession, where you are like, I'm going to inherit a lot of money, so I need to understand how to fit into this world. Rob, do you want to do the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
This camp combines tumbling with fighting and theatrics. Kids can learn the basics of the Hollywood stunt industry at this summer camp. Learn from real stuntmen how to escape a fireball, and plan your own Mission Impossible in your backyard.
Is it a camp or a sham?
I'm going to say this is a camp because it reminds me of like Universal Studios, how you go in and you like learn about special effects and there's the guy, the kids love it.
Yeah. This is a very expensive real camp. These are real kids being tossed off a roof here.
Awesome.
Wow.
I want to go to Stuntman camp.
That child was definitely injured on that.
The problem,
look at that.
I see the big problem here is they need to get kids that have, enough stuff going on in their life that they want to jump off a roof. Like these kids.
I don't think it's a good thing to be teaching kids like how to do their own stunts. Like I feel like that is not that is a recipe. Like, hey mom, I can jump off my own roof. If you can jump off a roof of a camp, you're going to try to jump off that roof at home. I mean, look at this thing. Like, it's literally like there's this ladder going up the side here. Like,
that
this
doesn't
is
even
just
look
giving
like, the ladder. That doesn't look like it's set up right either.
No. And there's another ladder, another step ladder on top of it.
All right.
Can
you guys remember the camp we went to, by the way?
Wait.
For Burning Love?
Bonnaroo?
Oh yeah. Yes, dude.
That's like
that's the
camp,
best
right?
camp. That's adult camp. Yeah.
That's adult camp.
And we lost a key. I think you let Rod.
My son. Yeah, I did. That was my first child that I don't speak of anymore. But I lost. I physically couldn't find my son Randy, and I looked for him. I did look. I will say I looked all over. I was very drunk and probably on mushrooms while I was looking for him. So I never found him. I hope Randy's doing great. You can, Randy, if you're watching, call me on my landline.
You really need.
Or hit me on my beeper or my fax, Randy.
You're really too casual about this.
I'd love to be reunited with you.
Doesn't seem like it. It really.
No,
seems like
I would like to. I would like to see how he's doing at some point.
We looked everywhere for Randy. I mean,
we did. We did sketch a couple shows. All right, here's another one. If you're passionate about aviation and want to learn everything you can about planes, helicopters, and other aircraft, there's an easy way to do that without trying to sneak into the cockpit. Next time you fly somewhere, go to flight camp.
Okay, I'm going to say that's bullshit because no camp would have. I can tell you wrote that because no one would say there's an easy way to do that without trying to sneak into the cockpit next time you fly. So
so you're thinking,
next time you fly, go to flight camp. I mean, so you're saying like, wait, next time I fly, I could just like pop in and be like, hey, you guys want to SeaTac or?
You're wrong.
What?
That is real. That is a real description written right on the website.
He looks like me with my headset. He totally looks like me.
They literally teach you how to fly a helicopter and another plane, and that's the beginning level class. And then if you come back, you can fly bigger and bigger aircraft.
That's
wow.
so crazy. And you did not tweak the copy from their website?
No, I did
they
not.
actually say there's an easy way to do that without trying to sneak into the cockpit the next time you fly somewhere.
Yep.
What's interesting to me is I bet we can't find a learning how to drive camp. But there's a learn how to fly camp.
Learn how to fly. There's space camp.
This is just for parents who want to get rid of their kids permanently. It's like these are not safe things. All right.
Can I do one? Yeah.
Yeah. Do whatever one you want.
And then we should let Nick go probably.
Okay. Yeah.
I know
Sure.
You got it. Okay. This is called Dating Camp. Learn the do's and don'ts of first dates. From asking someone out in a respectful way to engaging your date with questions that truly connect. Where to go and how to know if you have a spark together. You have a date this summer at Camp Connect.
And how to know if you have a spark together. Yeah. This is fake. I mean,
is that a Sham? That is a Sham. That is a full Sham.
Fucking Paul. That's
all right.
Paul. That is a great idea for
a good idea.
Not for kids. Not for kids, but for adults.
Not that one. I got one final one, and then we'll let you go, Nick.
Consent.
All right. This is a consent camp consent. All right. Here it is. Who better to teach your child hunting, the 10 Commandments, and all the words to cat scratch fever than the one and the only Ted Nugent? This Detroit rocker, gun activist, and staunch conservative founded his volunteer staff nonprofit Camp for Kids in 1990. For 2 weekends each summer, little noogies ages 11 through 16 are taught basic lessons in life like international bow education, hunter safety, and the law, the golden rule, and the 10 Commandments. Although only BB international, yes, international bow education. Although BB guns are used at Camp Nugent, Ted personally gives a heartfelt lecture about gun ownership rights and the dangers of drugs and alcohol and the power of octane-fueled rock, as well as a musical performance. The camp's 3-day weekends offer outdoors, hands-on classes, and urge children to get out of the malls and off the streets and get in touch with nature by shooting at it.
Let's get these kids out of Nordstrom and get them over to Ted Nugent.
Someone in the chat said Camp Scratch Fever, which is a great name. That's unbelievable. Obviously, that's real.
Real. There it is.
You're so specific. That is unbelievable.
No, wasn't that
is
how many fucking gun accidents have happened at that camp?
I love that the camp already is apologizing that you can't use real guns, even though it's like, if these people weren't breathing down our necks, we would give you something a little bit stronger than a BB gun, but these squares. So those are some camps or schmamps. I was blown away by the Ted Nugent one. There's so many weird camps.
Do you think there's any sort of like political element to that camp?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I wonder if it comes up.
He's training the revolution in there.
That and the fucking business school are just like right wing like funnels like just
yeah.
You got a big show coming up in Brooklyn, right, Nick? You're going in July 10th. You're going to be at the Bell House. We will show everybody how to get there.
Comedy. Have you, Thune? I follow you on Instagram, and I feel like you've been posting pictures of some shows you've been doing around town in LA. Like, are you starting to do live shows now?
Yeah, it's going.
So fun.
I was in New York, and the Cellar's open. The Improv's open here now. There's a lot of outdoor shows that are actually pretty fun happening.
And yeah, you're doing like a rooftop show, right? Like that's the one I keep on seeing advertised.
Yeah, I've got a show on the 25th I'm doing that's like Kate Berlant, Chelsea Peretti, Joan Mandy at Jam in the Van on June 25th. That's a big one.
Nice.
That's LA?
It.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, people can find out all this information here. And Nick, are people doing a lot of quarantine material, or is that like now like not acceptable? Or are we trying to get out of that? Like, what are you finding so far in the comedy that you've been seeing?
I've seen a good amount of quarantine stuff. I have.
Yeah.
I've not delved in.
Yeah.
I'm personally just trying to like escape.
Yeah.
Thinking or talking about it or putting it on people's minds or anything. But yeah. There are definitely a lot of hot takes out there.
Nick, it was so great to have you. Go see Nick in New York at the Bell House July 10th. Go see him in the 25th in LA. Was it Man in the Van, or is it? I'm sorry, what is it called?
Jam in the Van on the 25th. Yeah.
Jam in the Van on the 25th. Everyone we just popped up all the information in the chat. Thune, it was so good to see you, buddy. Happy early Father's Day to you.
Yeah, you too, boys.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, I gave him the harsh out. I gave him the harsh.
Paul, you gave him the hard out, like you always do, man.
Gave him the hard one.
Get it. You don't know how to gently. It's just with you. It's just a trap door. They just fall into the pit.
I hate tough goodbyes, but Rob, it's time for us to say goodbye now to this amazing crowd that we've had a great show. We had Rod on the show. We had Nick on the show. We've gotten through great Father's Day gifts. I'll say Happy Father's Day to you. And
Happy Father's Day to you. I will qualify that by saying, if those are your real kids, I wouldn't put it past you to hire a couple fake kids to run around in the background like you did tonight. But,
I'm going to spend $250 for 30 minutes of a fake kid running around in my background?
How would you even know that it costs $250? Like that right there.
That just seems crazy. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like I'm not renting kids. Like, and if I do it for 4 weeks in a row, it's cheaper because I get like a discount, like a bulk rate.
You know so much about the business that it seems like you definitely rented some kids.
Well, I'm going to say this, Rob, last week we rated a channel that was not ready to be rated. They were incredibly freaked out. So we have a bunch of people right now.
How does it work? Just because I don't know how Twitch operates. Yeah. All of our viewers flood
dumped over there.
Show. And so it's probably fun for our viewers to be like, where are we going? What is this?
Yeah.
And then, but those people on the other end, do they immediately know that they've been rated? Like, does this?
Yes, it just flies in. Like this week, Colt Cabana rated me, and it was it's nerve wracking. So are we going to go to the Squirrel Theater? Is that like somebody give us a thing that we can go? Okay, here it is. The Squirrel NYC. And you know what? Here's the thing. Just stay on for a second, and we can be nice to everybody. They're gonna all go over there. The Squirrel NYC. I think that's right. Is it 1L? Okay, it's 1L. Squirrel. Okay, this is of course you gave me the toughest one to type in. All right, let's see.
Squirrel might have 2 R's and 1 L. Yeah.
I think we got it in there, and it's going. All right, we have a raid in progress. They're going to be rated. We can't see it happening. But Rob, have a great time in your La Quinta in Poughkeepsie. And
thank you, Paul. Great to see you. And happy Father's Day to you.
All right, I'll see you later. By the way, we're rating a place. It's actually a bunch of UCB people. They formed a new theater, so this is it. So check out what they're doing over there. That's awesome. Good luck, everybody. See you later. Bye.